All right, another week of college football is over, and we have the latest AP results back for you. Some teams are dropping as many as 9 positions. Another team goes up 9 positions. Who are they? Well, stay tuned and you will find out. Georgia stays on top of the table. Tennessee actually moves its way up one slot by tying Ohio State. Got to say, Tennessee's looking extremely impressive with a 38-point win over number 16 Kentucky. Ohio State answered a few of my questions, but it took them most of the game. They really didn't pull ahead until the last 9 minutes, and Penn State was in it or leading at different times prior to that. That leaves me saying Michigan's still my favorite to win the Big Ten. They stay at number 4. Set of byes keeps 5 and 6 in their same positions with Clemson and Alabama. And TCU continues to wait for their opportunity to try to get into the top 5. It may be coming soon with Georgia playing Tennessee this week. They got to hope for a fairly lopsided victory to knock one of them down 4 or 5 points. Out west, they take up the remainder of the table virtually, with Oregon staying unchanged at 8, and USC, UCLA, and Utah all moving up positions to take 9, 10, and 12. The one that doesn't make sense to me is the Ole Miss victory. They beat Texas A&M. I don't know how this impresses anybody, but in terms of the top 12 or so of the table, they move 4 points up, the biggest change in this half of the table. Bottom half of the top 25 saw a lot more movement. One of the biggest movements was the Oklahoma State Kansas State game. You can see Kansas State really took it to Oklahoma State, winning by 48. They go up 9 places to number 13. Oklahoma State, on the other hand, drops a similar 9 places to number 18. Other big losers on the day. Wake Forest comes in at number 20 after a 27-point loss to Louisville. That's a 9-position movement on them. Syracuse likewise goes 6 places to the south, falling to number 22 after a loss to Notre Dame. At number 14, you've got Illinois with their win over Nebraska. And then we get a bunch of byes. A good week to be on a bye again. LSU climbs 3 points to number 15 with a bye. Tulane climbs 4 points to number 19 with a bye. And Liberty and Oregon State enter the top 25 at number 23 and 24, all because they scheduled a rest this week. Coming in at number 16 is Penn State after their loss to Ohio State. This was only a 3-position drop. I think that makes sense given they played them very close up until the last 9 minutes or so of the game. Coming in at 17 is North Carolina with a win over Pittsburgh. This is a 4-position improvement for them. At number 21 is NC State beating Virginia Tech. This is a 3-position gain. And lastly, at number 25, coming into the table is UCF with their last-minute victory over number 20, Cincinnati. Great job to everybody. Who makes up the AP Top 25? Let's look at it by conferences real quick. 5 teams from the SEC are in the top 25. That is down from 7 last week. In the ACC, they have 5 teams as well. I would tell North Carolina, Syracuse, Wake Forest, your positions are precarious. Another loss probably knocks you out. In the Pac-12, you have Oregon, Southern Cal, UCLA, and Utah, all sitting between positions 8 and 12, probably at no risk of falling out, but Oregon State enters this week at number 24. You definitely need to win to stay in. In the Big Ten, none of these are in any real danger. Penn State being the lowest ranked one at 16. Continue to play well and you will be there. Big 12, TCU, Oklahoma State, Kansas State. The only one I'd say that's at risk here is Oklahoma State. That 48-point loss to Kansas State probably gives folks some questions. Get back into your winning ways. Liberty joins the top 25 at number 23, bringing us an independent again, the first time since BYU left a couple of weeks ago. And in the American Athletic Conference, UCF swapped out with Cincinnati after their win over Cincinnati this weekend. These are my resume rankings. It's a mathematical formula based upon the actual games played, margin of victory, and overall strength of schedule. There was a little bit of movement in here. I was happy to see Ohio State actually gain some traction within this table. They had definitely been lacking due to quality of opponents. At this point, though, I'm very curious to see how the CFP rankings come out on Tuesday, and that will probably be a much better comparison. That's it for today. We got a lot more to happen this week. We're going to probably be dropping another broadcast with regards to the CFP rankings. And I'd also like to touch on either the Big 12 or the ACC championship run. That's only got about a month left. Want to make sure we don't miss any important games that are coming up in either of those chases. So subscribe if you're interested in those topics. We'll be dropping those videos shortly. If not, we'll see you again next Monday when we look at the AP Top 25 and how teams did over the weekend. Thank you and goodbye.